Welcome to our podcast. This is No Sugar, No Cream, and this is episode number 72, I believe. And today, I'm trying to hold on a second. We're going live on Instagram in a second. There we go. Just went live. So I'm very happy to announce that we have a very special guest. Never been on the podcast before. And this is Steve. Steve, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Steve, I'm Steve.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
Yes. Glad to have you, Steve.
I'm Steve. Glad to be here. This is a really nice setup you got here. No sugar, no cream. That's nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate you.
Yes.
So,
really glad to be here.
So why did we agree to have you on the podcast? What did you convince us? I'm trying to remember.
Well,
what you bring to the table here.
Well, what happened was me and your other guy,
Seth. Yes,
Seth is it?
Yes,
Seth.
Yes.
We met each other on one of those websites where you swapped each other's houses, living experiences for a week. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So we swapped. He's down in my condo down there in Texas for the week, and I'm up here with you. Did he not tell you about that?
No, it's news to me. I saw you in his place, and I asked who you were, and
I'm
so
Steve.
I'm just finding out.
Steve.
Okay, Steve, I got it. Yeah,
I'm Steve. I'm Steve. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Glad to be
here.
So what do you do, Steve? What's your job? How do you keep body and soul together?
It's kind of a secretive thing. It's I'm not usually allowed to tell the people, but you don't have a lot of viewers, do you?
Oh, we have a few.
Okay,
a few hundred or so.
Well, let's just tell them not to tell anybody, okay? So my job is I'm a straw inspector.
You mean like straw bales? Like the bales that you use when you
No, you think about the straw you put in a cup.
Oh, you drinking straw.
You drinking straw.
Okay.
All kinds of straws.
Okay.
Paper, plastic, we're not judging, we're just strawing.
Okay.
That's our slogan. In fact, that's to be that's our slogan. And you know what, you gotta always, the most important part of my job is making there's 2 holes in the straw.
2 holes, one on either end.
Goodness gracious, you're gonna take my job. Goodness gracious. Was it stem? Tim. Is it Tim or Stem?
It's Tim.
Tim. I'm going to call you Stem.
Oh, do so at your peril. At your own peril.
Yes, I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm not much of a laugher. All right, Tim. I guess, Tim. I don't like being threatened, so I'll definitely call you Tim. So, yeah, the straw. There's got to be the hole at the front and the back, because the liquid's got to come in one side and then into the other side. So most likely, usually a person is going to be sipping on it. We got all kinds of straws we inspect. We got the little, I call them the nursing home straws, the one with the little that curve at the end. Oh, the people at the homes love those straws. They love those straws.
Why do you think they love them? What's special about them?
Because they curve and they got the little neckies that just make it so easy. You just like, I can't get up here. Oh, well, just bring it down here.
Ah, okay.
You just bring, and that's what Steve does. Steve inspects those straws.
Oh, that's such a valuable job.
Not really.
So I'm just what do you ever find any straws that don't have 2 holes, that maybe only has 1 hole?
7,346 in counting
that didn't have 2 holes.
Well, or some kind of defect of some sort.
Okay, so what's the most common defect that you find?
Most common defect is usually just like a hole, an extra hole here and there, and you don't want those extra holes. You ever try using a straw with 3 holes?
No, it sounds like it sounds like a problem.
It's horrible. I don't mean to get upset here, but this is my livelihood, and it's really important to me. You don't want a straw with an extra hole in it.
Yeah, it wouldn't work right. It would.
I don't think you're right. Yeah, you're going to steal my job, son of a gun. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is important. Are you looking for a job in straw industry?
I don't think I would want to do the straw
Yeah.
inspection job, Steve. I don't think I'm gonna be threatening your job.
Yeah, you look like a music guy yourself.
Yeah, I prefer music, to
one
be
of those.
honest. Yeah.
You look like one of those musical fellows.
So how long do you think you're going to be on this podcast? Are you? Can we?
I don't know. What are you trying to say there, Tim? What are you implying, Tim? You just come forth from it. Just come on. Just go ahead and say what you're thinking.
Well, I don't know how long we can talk about straw inspection. It seems a rather boring topic, if I can be brutally honest with you, Steve. Just brutally honest with you. And we got to hold the attention of our viewers in some way. So
I don't know. This bet seems to be working really well, Tim.
Well, okay. All right. Oh my gosh.
It was me the whole time.
It was you. Oh no, I never believed it. Oh my gosh. Folks, did you know that was Seth? I thought it was Steve. Some guy I'd never met showed up. And she said
nobody knew.
Nobody knew, right?
Welcome back to another podcast. No sugar, no cream.
Bravo. Bravo. Yes. I was just going to ask Steve if he ever wanted to come back again. But now that I know it's
you weren't. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're not. You don't want Steve back. Man, you couldn't make it 3 minutes with Steve. You're like, so how much time left with Steve?
So, folks, please leave a comment if you think Steve should come back in a future.
If you ever think he's,
I mean, after all, he spent time getting the get up.
Of course, that wig is a little bit of a haircut away from being shit hair wig. I could always switch it up.
We're trying to always add new things for you folks on the No Sugar, No Cream podcast.
These glasses are fun, though, aren't they?
They're amazing. They're amazing.
You totally put them on and see what you think. Oh, you look fantastic. Aren't they so ridiculous? Oh my gosh. Well, I could do a character just with these glasses. That was great. All right, guys. Well, we thought we'd have a little fun. Little goof. Poor Steve. Good old Steve. But yeah, the what was that?
Say it again, please.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
Oh no.
No,
I'm just focused on your words of wisdom that are coming out of your mouth.
There's not much to be focused on. That just came to me, the whole idea of switching people. I think there's a website for that where you can like if you want to stay a vacation spot. Or there's a movie that does that too, but I think there's a website for that, like Swap Spaces or whatever.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
But there's a movie that did that too.
I've heard of that. Swapping, you can swap with people.
Which is so funny because somebody else's house. I mean, you do that with Airbnb, of course. Somebody else it's gonna completely feel like a vacation. It's funny. It's like, I mean, as long as you just do background check probably, and like you probably people would have ratings and everything like that. Like, yeah, I mean, like I used for the first time during Thanksgiving, I used the one app for Eventbrite, Bright Events, or whatever it's called. Eventbrite.
That's just a ticketing app. That's like Ticketmaster. That's all that is.
Right, but you could just make. Well, it's a little different than that. Not just anybody can just list a ticket on Ticketmaster, right? I think it's a little bit harder, right?
Well, okay.
I feel like anybody can
it's a lot of artists and comedians and different. I bought a lot of tickets on.
Right. But I think anybody can set up an account and sell tickets on there.
So.
It's how their system is.
So,
yeah. but then they have followers and stuff, and then showed how many events I think they went on. So I went to a Thanksgiving event before the Cowboys game, and there was like 500 500 probably at least people there, and they had a whole like several lines for food and everything. Food was fantastic, and drinks were included. DJ, they had some giveaways and stuff. So that was ended up being around $100, and I mean, I got to my Thanksgiving fix and got to be around a bunch of other like-minded, people that are headed to the game, and that was like went on for like 3 hours. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so I use that app. So I mentioned that just because, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's an app about for everything. But yeah, like we could even, like, if we wanted to do like a poker game, we could throw up and just have only sell 10 tickets or whatever, where you fit somebody around the table, and you could
could
do an event.
My
That's
buddy and his roommate, I won't mention his name for let him stay private, but he pretty much makes a nice money from his monthly poker playing. And I asked him a little bit more about it, and it's fairly complex. They just don't play Texas Hold'em 5 cards. They have a bunch of different games that they'll play. He said there are 5 choices. They got Omaha, where everybody has 5 cards. Can you imagine?
Not a fan
how
of
would
that.
you even? How would you ever figure out the odds with something like that?
I like,
because I mean,
the simpleness.
2 pair or 3 of a kind. The lower. They ain't gonna win nothing with that. Everybody's gonna have straights and full houses and 4 of a kind. I mean, because most of the cards of the deck are out if you got enough people.
Mm-hmm.
If you got 10 people, that'd be 50 cards right there. Almost all the cards are on the table or out.
Yeah.
And then their highs and lows. I don't remember all the ones that he had. And it's hard enough trying to know the odds from Texas Hold'em, which I'm still trying to learn to get better.
Which you've done all right. You already won yourself a game.
We played, I won the entire game.
That was pretty cool.
Started out 3 full tables.
I think you won $100.
I think so. Yeah, I think. That's
there's a good amount.
I quit when I was
3 full tables.
Played since.
Well, too, they stopped having it at our location.
Yeah,
there was a spot that was close to us,
but we
could go to.
He said his roommate makes a living from it. Makes like $2,000-$3,000 a month every month. And I said, how in the world does that keep going on? And it's the same guys coming that are wealthy farmers, and they know they're losing, but they don't care. They come for the camaraderie.
Yeah.
And they're willing to pay and know that they lose.
Yeah.
And I was asking him, how do you I was asking him more details. What is the secret? I said, do you know the math better, the odds? And he said, no, pretty much everybody knows the math. Well, I don't. I mean, I'm still mastering the math. If you get, you get 2 suited cards, what are the odds that you'll make something, that you'll get a flush, things like that, or a straight? There's numbers. There's an app that I'm on that kind of gives you those numbers, and sometimes they're lower than you would think. But anyway, he said the math is the math. They're above thinking about the math. He said between the two of us, he and his roommate is a lot better than he is. How'd we get on poker? I'm not sure, but his roommate is much better than he is. And you were talking about poker, and we could have a poker match. But and I said, what's the difference? Because he said, is he better with the numbers? He said, no, we're both mastered the odds. What he's good at is reading the people. And he said his goal is, when he's going to win, he wants to maximize his winnings. And when he loses, he wants to minimize his losses. That's his dividing principle. And he sometimes bluffs. So you don't know when he's bluffing. And he'll size up. He said the biggest part of it is reading people, which I would suck at. My buddy Jimmy says I have the worst poker face in the history of the world. So you can read my emotions, is what he says. I don't think that's true, but I mean, I'm not looking at my face, so I guess maybe it's true. But you have to have a poker face, and that's why a lot of them play with hoodies and glasses, and
then people just get lucky. There's people who get more lucky than others.
Yeah, but over time, if you consistently win, or else you're playing with a bunch of people that aren't very good, which I guess that's part of it.
Yeah.
And you're changing up the odds. When you're playing a whole bunch of different games, I mean, it's hard enough for me. I'm not.
No, I would just want to play Texas Hold'em.
The Texas Hold'em, playing 2-3 hours of that, a lot of fun. I'm not bored, but every time everybody deals, you have a chance to play a different game. And I did play a poker, actually, to be honest, back in the day for fun. I was in a friend group back in Delaware, and we played poker, and we had all kinds of weird games that we played. Like I remember we had baseball, where I think threes and sixes and nines are wild, or something like that. I mean, just random. I mean, if you don't have four of a kind, or you're not winning anything, because with those random things, I don't remember what is baseball. There was for the baseball poker game. It's I remember threes, and are they wild? I mean, poker really doesn't have wild cards, and Texas Hold'em doesn't. It's worth what it's worth, right? But a wild card, you can make it worth whatever you want, and then you change everything, right?
Yeah, no wild cards, yeah.
In Texas Hold'em. But I mean, so we played in low card wins, a low hand, the worst hand, so you wanted to have a 2 and a 3 or something. If you had an ace, that could technically be 1, but could also be an ace. So you wouldn't win. So like you had a 2 and a 3, the lowest, highest, best hand, and then also lowest hand. I mean, that's upside down thinking, right? How do you realize I'm looking for the worst hand possible? Because that's the game you play. That's how you win. And we just played for fun. I mean, we did play for real money, but it was like quarters. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money. It's not. You're not going to help your income with that. So I did have some experience with that, and didn't at the time. I didn't know the odds of Texas Hold'em at all, but we just played for fun, And anyway, you were talking about poker. Yeah, so we could possibly have a poker game. That is possible using Eventbrite. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yep, still can't play in Nashville, but it's a free game that we went to. We talked about it before, but there is a spot like just at the border, which I want to check out at some point. It's just a normal poker place, but it's just right at the
Kentucky
border.
Which
yeah,
border?
yeah, Kentucky border.
You may Tennessee. You have to stipulate which border, because Tennessee is the state with the most states touching our border. That's a fact.
Yeah.
We have, I think, 7. I think it's 7 states. I think there's no other state that has as many states that we share a border with.
Yeah, we are an odd shaped state, aren't we? We're just like a long
Can we name
version.
them all? Let's see. Kentucky, Arkansas, Missouri, I believe.
Georgia,
Alabama, North Carolina, I believe. 6. There's one more.
Is it South Carolina also? Or no, that's on the other side.
Why don't you Google that? That's a little factoid. I'm pretty sure it's 7, because I remember looking into.
Well, I'm going to pull up my map, and if I can't figure it out, then I don't deserve to use maps anymore.
Yeah.
Did we see Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia?
I didn't say Mississippi. Is Mississippi included?
Yeah.
I guess it is. Yeah. So that's the 7th one. That's the 7th
Alabama,
one.
Georgia, South Carolina.
South Carolina too?
Wait, no.
I had North Carolina. Oh, yeah, it would be South Carolina. Georgia, it would also be South Carolina. Why don't you just Google how many?
North Carolina and South Carolina.
And Georgia. Because I know you go through, you go through Chattanooga, you get to Georgia. Maybe it's more than 7.
Oh, not South Carolina.
Okay.
Just
North Carolina and Georgia, right? Because I remember you get on the road, there's a time when is it North Carolina? You're driving east, and I don't remember if it's 40 or if it's what it would be. It'd be 65, and if you're either going to Georgia or you're going to North Carolina. There's a time where you leave Tennessee and you're in North Carolina, and then a few miles later you're back in Tennessee, and then you're in North Carolina, or is it Georgia? I forget now, but it's the weirdest geography in the mountains. That's in the mountains. You're on your way to Asheville, for example. So can you name the states? You have a list of them? 7, right?
Yeah, Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina.
That's 6. Mississippi, you said before.
Yes, yeah, that's I said them already.
Why don't you just Google the list rather than trying to get it from the map? That would be precise. Or ask AI. Just my thought. You do you. I don't think there's any state in the union that has that many states bordering the state. I think that's one thing we hold the record on. Now that I'm a Tennessean. In further news, it's gotten cold again here in Tennessee. Thought I moved to the south, but it's been cold the last week or so, and I hope the warm weather comes back quickly, because that's why I moved to this area. I like warm weather. I had plenty of cold winters in South Dakota.
Right. Which I think it doesn't really warm up until what, March or February or here.
Oh, here
we get it's January. January is pretty cold, and then with January, February.
You have warm Januaries, Februaries. South Dakota, you can have snow. I mean, snow that stays on the ground in April.
Definitely. We haven't had any snow at all this year, right?
No, we haven't. That's been a good thing.
Kentucky, Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. Virginia, yes.
North Carolina in the east, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri. What? Oh, Missouri. We left Missouri.
I said Missouri. The very first time when I listed them,
I
said Missouri.
I guess that's what I missed that, because that was really very brief. Yeah, about to say that's easy to miss. Yeah.
So Virginia, through Virginia, there's a town. Come to think of it, there is a town. I mean, I've only been living in this town for 8 years now, and there's still a lot for me to learn about Tennessee. But there's a town that is the origination of country music. It's not Nashville. Nashville is not where country music started. There's a town on the extreme eastern edge of Tennessee, and that town shares a border with, I believe it's Virginia. That's when you said Virginia. You said Virginia does border us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which surprises me, come to think of it. We have a border with Virginia. Well, there's a town. The main street divides the town. And on the east side, it's Virginia. And on the west side of the main street is Tennessee. And that is the town where country music was invented. I've never been to that town, but I've gone through on 40, which is the highway that goes by there. It's just off the interstate. I don't know how far of a drive. It'd be worth a drive to go there when I wasn't in a hurry. But I'm always in a hurry. Aren't we always in a hurry in 2026? Seems like we always have places to go, things to do. Time doesn't wait. Can you find that? And the reason they say that is because that's where
Bristol,
Tennessee. Does it share with Virginia? Do I have the state right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bristol, Tennessee. It's where country music was invented. Well, I guess technically Virginia as well. I mean, did they only do the country music on the Tennessee side? I mean, I suppose Virginia could say, hey, we co-shared the foundation of country music if it was in the town. I mean, I guess Tennessee may have to share that right with another state if it was in the town, unless all the goings on that started country music was on the Tennessee side. That's the story we're going with it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
It was where the first commercial recording was made in 1927.
There you go. Bristol, Tennessee.
Bristol. There's a racetrack, isn't there? Bristol?
Yeah. I think there's a big racetrack there, too. Probably a cool town.
Racing.
Yeah, there's a NASCAR, right? I believe a big NASCAR event there in Bristol, Tennessee.
Yeah, was that last year I went to the NASCAR thing? That was pretty neat. I just wish. I quickly realized that I needed earplugs. I think that was the main thing I talked about last time. Like how crazy loud it is. Oh, yeah.
So those of you who are live, just to let you know, I mean, you may notice this computer here is the second podcast. Well, no, we did it on the ship as well. So not the second, but when we were on the cruise ship, we used this computer because I didn't have my main computer on the cruise. And we are now looking at all the comments. So feel free to drop us a comment and we can respond in real time.
But the second time using this whole setup, it is your first time using this?
No, we used that. We lived this on the cruise. We used this setup on the cruise.
Or that's the one we just bought, though.
Oh, you are correct. I stand corrected.
No, you're sitting down. Just relax.
I sit corrected. So yeah, I had one Focusrite that only used one mic, and so we had to pass the mic back and forth, and then we upgraded to a 2-mic Focusrite interface, and now so we each have our mic, and is only second. You're right, Seth. This is only second podcast using this new setup. So I like it. Getting into it. And we can respond in real time to comments. I'm looking at Instagram right now. And then I'm also looking on Restream. And it's supposed to show all the comments and YouTube and Facebook. But I see one comment from Regainer Wave. Please come home for Christmas. That was commented a while back
Well, it's
on this podcast.
too late now.
A little late. Yeah, we got to wait for next year. And
I need you to write a song for this next year in my honor. Sick at home for Christmas.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that's related to a song that I wrote with my buddy Mike Markham, and was released this year, and it went viral for me on Instagram.
Just a little guy named John Mayer liked it. No big deal. Whatever.
John Mayer did like it. Thank you, Seth.
No big deal. No big deal.
John Mayer is, and also Joe Jonas from the Jonas Brothers, verified. 5 million followers. Well, that was on TikTok.
There's only one name drop a podcast. Yeah.
Oh, I take that back. Only one name drop allowed per podcast.
So no, I think we're good because I dropped one
and I dropped one.
And you dropped one.
There we go.
But yeah, limits. Before we get, definitely want to mention. Won't take but a second, but bummer last night. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers lost to who did they play? I only cared about the Steelers, I guess. The Steelers, they lost. Who did they play? Oh, the Texans. Amazing defense. Insane. Almost scary how good their defense is. That was one extreme. Both Tim and I noticed from so that the last week the Steelers played, and they were gaining most of their yards after they caught the ball. Whereas last night, they weren't able to make any yards whatsoever after they caught the ball. Once they caught the ball, they were down. The Texans were insane defense. And I think they could win the whole thing. So we'll see. I'd love to see Aaron Rodgers come back. And he's 42 now. He just turned 42 in December, I think. I'd love to see him still come back. He's still playing amazing. He just doesn't have a lot of good receivers. And then, of course, in that situation, it's so fun when you can blatantly see how a defense is playing so well. Like, because I remember you commented first. It was like, and we both were talked about how many yards they were making most of their yards after they caught the ball.
When they beat
completely different.
Who did they beat?
Last
they
night.
Beat Baltimore. Well, the Ravens.
The Ravens. Yeah. Completely
and
different.
They made
last
more
night.
yards after the catch than they did before the catch. Whereas Houston, they're like tackling them as they're catching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable.
It's
not
insane.
Just once or twice, but all the time.
Every time. I don't think
time.
There might have been one play where they got a couple yards.
They're so good. Just really
so that will be interesting to see them play real well. It made the game a little more interesting because the quarterback was messing up a little bit, but Aaron wasn't able to do anything. He just doesn't have the skill level. He doesn't have any like really good
receivers.
Good receivers.
Level, yeah.
But I think they only threw his main guy that was back after missing the last game. I think they threw to him. We threw to him like once or twice. So we'll see what happens. You got the rest of the games. We got the playoffs through the rest of this month, and then the Super Bowl is I think on the 11th or 12th, something like that. So that'll be fun. I'm not really big fans of any of the teams, but it's just fun to watch. I enjoy football, but of course, still very much enjoying basketball. Tim, get me into watching the Celtics, which it's a little fun to. Got some basketball cards and randomly got a Tatum. So that's the only player I had a whole little box last night, and
right here,
and he was the only player from Celtics that I got, but it was like 6 packs, I think 8 cards each or something like that, and he was the only one. So hopefully he comes back. He's got it. Tore his ACL, right? Or no? Yeah. No, not ACL. His
Here's Jason.
What did he tear? Yeah,
his ACL.
Yeah, his ACL. But hopefully, he's doing his recovery has been well. But hopefully, he comes back. And they're definitely going to be in the playoffs. So hopefully he's like there when the playoffs starts. And man, with him back there, that should be another level, you know.
Well, I hope so. I mean, they continue to
You hope
frustrate
so.
me. I mean, here's the Celtics. You know, I've been a Celtics fan for a long time, from back in the Bird era, because I used to see Larry Bird play at the Old Garden when you could get day of game obstructed view tickets for $5. Talk about a different era. And then you could look around the pole. It was a big metal girder, but by halftime, you know, if it was just a regular game, people would leave and you could move down. So by the second half, you would have unobstructed view. I went to a handful of games. I remember seeing Bird at play against a young Michael Jordan, and Jordan
So
had
jealous.
40, and I thought that he outscored Bird until I looked at the box score, and Bird quietly had 45. You know, not flamboyant like Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan very, you know, dunks and flamboyant, and his Bird is, you know, kind of a slow white guy, you know, but he was always in the right place somehow. And
I remember you telling me that memory a long time ago. I just you saying like Jordan was out there just crazy on his points, but here
Bird outscored him by 5 points.
But he
40
just
versus 45.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they frustrate me because they have defied all negative expectations. People are saying they're going to be a lottery team. They're definitely not a lottery team. And they get a good run, and they were second in the East. And then somebody came up with some advanced stat that said they had the best offense in the NBA, almost said NFL. And in fact, the best in the history of the NBA. Come on. They're not that good. And they proceed to lose 2 games in a row. And they're so variable. And maybe every team is this because it's a long season and it's hard to get up for every game.
But traveling so much.
And traveling, and and everybody's at a high level. And if you're only playing at 99%, you will get beaten, because the difference between, you know, the number 1 player and the number, well, there's 30 teams, and 15 per team, so that'd be 450. So even if you take the difference between the number 1 player, and let's say the top starters, 5 times 30 is 150. Just between number 1 player, if everybody could agree on who the best player in the NBA was, whoever that would be, and the number 150 player, really it's not that much. On a given day, number 150 could outplay number 1 if number 1's not having a good game, and number 150 is playing really well, and you can go deeper in the numbering route. I mean, that's so. It's a game of people get hot and they make a lot of shots, and the Celtics especially seem to be, they throw up a lot of threes, and some days we just can't hit a 3 to save our life. So it's frustrating as a fan for me, but it is what it is. And they've slipped. I think they were second, and then they lost 2 games, and they were third after lost the first game. And I don't know where they are now. They might be 4th by now. I haven't checked it since.
Third.
They're still 3rd. Okay.
So,
but barely.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're
because the
tied.
Raptors has 2 more losses. They have the same amount as wins. The Raptors has 2 more losses.
So yeah, they're still in 3rd but it's tight, you know.
They do have the next 2 days off, today and tomorrow. They play again Thursday, so hopefully they can get some refresh.
Back on track, you know. So,
but of course, it's another away game.
It's just really, really tough, you know. It's everybody's at a really high level, and they're all professionals, and they all can play really, really, really well. And the difference between, you know, it's kind of consistency, because, you know, remember Lynn Sanity, Jeremy Lin?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had been a bench rider, and all of a sudden he got hot for a couple of weeks playing for the Knicks, I think it was, and everybody loved him, his whole story. An Asian guy, I think Taiwanese guy, I think, Lin, Lyn. And there was a period of time for like 3 weeks that everybody loved him because just loved his story, and he was playing way above his level. And then all of a sudden he reverted back to the mean, basically. And
didn't the star player come back then too? I mean, seems like the only reason that
was injured.
That seems to be the only reason that he even shined like he did, because he got a chance to play, got the opportunity, and then they kind of just shut him out after that.
Yeah,
it's a big part of it.
He didn't. I don't think he was in the NBA. 2 or 3 years later, he was out of the NBA. I think he played in China for a few years. Why don't you check that? I think he played in China for a few years, and now he's probably retired by now because he's probably in his 40s. But you know, there's an example of a guy who just hit his stride at the right moment, had an opportunity, and was able to excel. But you know, things revert to the mean eventually. Oh, Jason, thank you. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you.
So I guess
Jason
his career
Samosa.
just ended this year, so I think he just
Oh,
wrapped up
really? It
things.
just,
But I think that was in China. But
Lord bless you also, Jason. What's that?
but that was
Yeah, I knew he went to China. I knew that. So he just retired from China this year.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Kinda.
so how long did he play in the NBA?
It's not giving me an exact number. Oh, okay. Let's give me his entire career. So 25. Okay, here we go. So
I guess I could Google. I have my computer here. I can Google it.
yeah, he went back and forth a couple of times, or like maybe the last time he was it was been a while. Yeah, Golden State Warriors back in 2010, 2011.
Oh, that long? Wow. Wow. Time flies. Time flies. You know, we're trying to think of a certain movie.
Oh no,
How
no,
long-
no, no. That's the start of his career. My bad.
Okay, I was going to say,
My
I didn't
bad.
think it was that long ago.
Okay, so he started with the Warriors, and then Reno Bighorns. Is that a team probably overseas?
That's Reno. Reno. That sounds like a G League team.
Let's see.
Reno, Nevada, most likely.
Uh,
Reno, Nevada. That's a big G League team. Most likely, I don't know in fact, but I'm going to guess.
They changed it to Stockton Kings, Stockton, California. But yeah, you're right. G League, of course. Yeah. So okay. So then there, yeah, New York Knicks, 2011, 2012. Then he went to the Houston Rockets, 2012. Man, he jumped around so much. 2014, Lakers, 2014, 2015. Then Hornets. Goodness gracious, see, man, Hornets, and then Brooklyn Nets the next year, Atlanta Hawks the next year, then 2019 the Raptors, and then that's when he went in 2000. So yeah, 2019. So that was just 6 years ago. He was at the Raptors, and then he went to Beijing Ducks.
Beijing Ducks. That's funny.
2019, 2020,
The Beijing Ducks.
And then he played a number of teams overseas until 23 to 25. He was in New Tapia Kings, a Chinese team. New Tapia City, Taiwan Professional Basketball League. So, which depending, I mean, these guys can make some good money overseas too.
Okay. I knew there was a thing there. So, Peking is the old name for Beijing, right? And have you ever heard Peking duck?
It sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, it's a famous Beijing dish known for a thin, crispy skin and tender meat, traditionally served with pancakes, scallops, cucumber, and hoisin sauce, which is kind of a sweet sauce. When I was in Beijing, I had that because you can't go to Beijing and not have Peking duck. You can't. So it's a play on probably one of the most famous dishes.
Before, yeah.
They're calling them the Beijing duck when the food is Peking duck, which was the old name for the city. So there's a little.
The Kings retired his number.
Really? Wow. I didn't. He didn't win a championship or anything.
No, the overseas.
The Beijing Ducks did.
Well, they're called new. Oh yeah, taping. That's the what you're talking about. Yeah, taping.
Peking duck, man. How many of you have had Peking duck in Beijing?
I'd love to go back to China. It's been so long. Since 2002.
Let's see. The last time I was in China was probably 94, 95. Wow. I think 95 when I was living in Japan and I took a holiday and went to Beijing and Shanghai and remember where else. Oh, I've been to Hong Kong and Shenzhen and Guangzhou since then. I'm just thinking now. I was there probably in the aughts, probably. Just thinking out loud. But it's been a while. Guangzhou. They say they eat everything. They eat everything. Everything is food. They eat everything with four
Everything.
legs except the table. That's the
Oh,
same.
you can eat table. You can eat table. Yes, you can eat table.
Oh, you missed out.
I am the leader of North Korea. It doesn't he look like those glasses he has.
Kinda, yeah. Watch out, he'll send one of
America, I
his
do
forces.
not like you.
Anyway, you missed out when we were in LA. We got off the ship in December just before Christmas, and you were not feeling well. And we went to a restaurant that's walking distance from our hotel in Hollywood there, and the restaurant that your brother chose. Your brother is a huge foodie, as you are, and he chose a Thai restaurant. And the line, it was a tiny little place. It probably had less than 10 tables. It was tiny, and they just opened, and the waiting list was long. It was a line outside. So, being impatient, as some of us are, I won't say who, me.
Well, you had an excuse too. You had to fly out that later that
day. We went to the restaurant next door, which was a Chinese place, probably a Taiwanese guy, and it was a dim sum place. If you ever had dim sum, like real dim sum, I remember having it in Taiwan. You've been to Taiwan as well, where they bring it on the carts, and it's hot. It's in the baskets, and they bring it to you. You just choose one of those and one of those and one of those. Phenomenal. My mouth's watering just thinking about it. And that place, like pork bun. I mean, the best pork buns I've ever had in my life. And the proprietor, there was nobody there when we walked in. We were worried that it wasn't going to be good because next door the place is lined. There was probably 25 people waiting to get in. And this one, there's nobody waiting to get in. But boy, the food was good. It was so good. And the guy, probably the owner proprietor, Chinese guy that spoke with a very thick accent. It was hilarious, just hilarious. He kept saying, "What do you want?" He kept saying, "Chicken feet. Everyone like chicken feet. Chicken feet." Which, of course, Chinese people like chicken feet, but find me the native, the non-Asian American who will want to order a plate of chicken feet. So he was trolling us, and then when I caught him, because it was hard to understand his accent, and I said, "You're trolling us," and he started laughing. He was a funny guy. He was a really funny guy. It's free. It's free. Anyway.
And I was watching a video last night, and somebody got some amazing looking shish kebabs, and I've been craving shish kebabs ever since last night. I do like some good fried rice, lo mein noodles with some good chicken, some Mongolian beef is one of my favorite ones, and sweet and sour chicken, of course. You can't go wrong. Man, having it in China was just another level with the sweet and sour chicken there and the sweet and sour pork. Still haven't experienced that flavor. And then their fried rice was insane. Just the egg flavored in the rice. It was just they might. I feel like they use more egg than we use here, and just I guess the environment that it is able to grow in. Like my big thing was always like how I always compared it to my trip to China. Like there's not many places that compared to the food that I had in China when you went to different restaurants.
Yeah, I mean, like ask.
But that's not at all.
We
countries.
change, not all bad. We change a lot of foods here. Sushi in America is nothing like Japanese sushi. Has a very small resemblance to actual Japanese sushi. Because I lived in Japan for 2 years, and then I did business there for a long time, and we would always go to the expensive sushi shops. Anyhow, I still love sushi, but not most of American sushi. Mexican food in America is so different than actual. I mean, ask a Mexican if they have burritos. I made the mistake because I go to this restaurant nearby here, Extravaganza. Shout out, they're phenomenal restaurant. and they have the ladies who work there, the servers are Hispanic, the ones from Mexico, and I would get the American breakfast. And she brought it to me, and I got to know her and conversating, and I said, "Well, what's a Mexican breakfast?" I was curious. I mean, this is an American breakfast. Most Americans would know when you say American breakfast. So, what is a Mexican breakfast? And I made the mistake of saying, "Is it a breakfast burrito?" And she almost got mad at me. No, burritos was invented. That's an American invention. They don't have, I get right. I mean, we've talked about this, right? Burritos is not a Mexican thing. It's an American invention that has been called a Mexican dish. So, que tanto hablan? Sorry, I don't speak the language you're writing. My apologies.
Are you apologizing for not knowing 4 languages?
I've just got a comment, and I can't engage with the comment that's made.
English.
No. I should be able to speak your language. You most probably, I would bet you could speak English. Most people in the world. So we are inferior in that regard in this country. The average American born here, unless you're family of immigrants, only speaks one language, and most, especially Europe, they'll speak 3, 4, 5 languages. And
American education failed us again. I know if we would, all you had to do was throw some classes in kindergarten, first, second. I mean, like, goodness, it doesn't take much. If you can learn another language when you're a little kid, I mean, that's the time to learn it. Oh, that's the time to learn. Yeah. You learn it real quick.
It's like the proprietors of the restaurant I'm talking about. They're from Poland. And I've gotten to know them pretty well. Two families, they're interrelated. Or let's see, a woman, her husband, and her brother and his wife, and they're all Polish. And ask them what language they speak. They speak like 4 languages. They speak English, Polish, Russian, because Russia is right next or close. Well, Ukraine is border, and some of them speak German. So,
I barely speak English.
It's a matter of course, So, we are not proficient. The average American. There are Americans who speak a number of languages, but it's quite rare.
Welcome to Language with Tim and Seth.
Or lack thereof. I was once quite proficient in Japanese when I lived in Japan and was traveling all the time. I would negotiate business deals in Japanese with people who spoke no English. Japanese.
Had a very hard language to learn.
Yeah, but it's fallen into disuse. I stopped going to Japan, stopped doing that business, and it's
not like riding a bike.
Well, if I ever went back, I think I could pick it up quickly, but right now
you just saturated it.
I feel like that part of my brain has gone to sleep. The Japanese language part of my brain has gone to sleep. I think I could wake it up with a matter of months if I moved back there. And I sometimes, long for moving back to Japan. It's a wonderful country. With great traditions, long history, fascinating culture, so radically different than Western culture. I mean, it's like if Western culture is this way, it's like Japanese culture is that way. I mean, it's like the literal opposite of many, many things. I find it fascinating, and a very long history, very, very long history. And China, even longer history. In fact, Japan borrowed a lot of things from China. I would hesitate to admit that, but chopsticks came from China. China is a very, 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 very old culture, very old, dating back a long time. And talking about the Mongolians, my sister and brother-in-law were missionaries in Mongolia, and I visited there twice, and fascinating. And the Great Wall of China was built to keep the Mongolians out, because
they're always getting through the cracks and crannies, always sneaking in.
They did
stealing their soup.
Kublai Khan conquered China, and one of the dynasties, I've forgotten all the dynasties. I once had them somewhat memorized. One one of the dynasties was, you've got their epochs is divided into dynasties, and or it was. I don't know if they still consider that what we're in currently is a Chinese dynasty or not. I'm not sure, but one of those dynasties, the Mongolians were ruling China. They conquered China, so the wall didn't work, at least in that case.
So was the wall built before that then?
I believe it was.
They came in.
It was.
The threat was real. The threat was real.
That's a good history question. I have to suss that out, and I believe it was before that. And I remember reading something about they literally changed that once the trains were invented. Now that had to have been a lot later because they didn't have trains. The Mongolian dynasty of China was around, I'm going to say 1300 AD, 1200, 1300, in that range. That's when Kublai Khan and Genghis Khan, and then his son Kublai Khan, and the golden hordes of Mongolia that conquered and had a huge empire. And they did it because some of the things, they were amazing warriors, and they would ride on horses at full gallop, and they were amazing archers. While the horses at full gallop, they would have their bow, and they could hit a very small target with the horse at full gallop. They were very skilled at that, and they could. It was the early version of the German blitzkrieg, which kind of took. World War I was trench warfare. You gain 20 feet and then you lose 20 feet. Okay, we got all these trenches, and you move forward and you take a former trench that was the enemy, and the enemy retreated to another trench. Very slow. Well, and then the Germans came in with their Panzer tanks that could cover 70 miles in a day, and Europe wasn't ready for that kind of warfare, and just ran over Poland first, of course, talking about Poland. Bye-bye. See you later. Appreciate you.
Bye.
And that's the Mongolians.
Tim has a little bit of trust.
Each warrior had three horses, three ponies, three horses, and they would ride one, and they'd have two tied behind at full gallop. And so those two were basically resting, not carrying anything, and so they could switch off to another rested one who had just been running without anybody on them, and so they would rotate, and that's how they were able to cover so much ground, and they would just overwhelm. And there was a time when Eastern Europe was afraid of the Golden Horde of Mongolians. They were afraid that they were going to come in and conquer, the countries we know of today as Germany and France, because there was a threat from the Mongolians. The Mongolians were so strong. But as is with all dynasties, they faded away. And now it's a third world country. It's come a long ways in the last 20 years. When I was there, in the Ulaanbaatar, which is the capital of Mongolia, at the time, 2/3 of the people still lived in the yurts, which is a oval roof-shaped tent, and they cooked with open fire. Keep warm with open fire, and it's cold in Ulaanbaatar, very cold. I mean, wicked cold, like 20 below. I mean, it can freeze at any day of the year. The middle of July, it can freeze. That's the kind of weather they have. And people living in these tents. Now they had learned how to, felt, or they had animal pelts to insulate them, but the top of the tent was open, and they would use open fire to cook and to heat the tent, the yurt. And Ulaanbaatar's in a valley, and there wasn't wind, and so all that pollution, all that smoke from 2/3 of the population is kind of just stuck in that valley, doesn't escape, and the pollution, the air quality was horrible, and that's why my sister had lung issues that really bothered her, and they had to come back early. They couldn't finish their tenure because she could not survive in that because the air quality is so bad. I don't know what it is now. That was in the 90s, so now we're talking almost 30 years later, and I'm not sure if 2/3 of the population still in yurts, but that's what it was at that time. So, but the food was amazing. Mongolia.
Mongolia.
I have a warm place in my heart for Mongolia because I was there a couple times. And, I love sumo wrestling and Japanese sumo wrestling. And traditionally it was, only the Japanese and then there was a couple Americans. Akebono was the first American who came, and he was Hawaiian or from Guam, big guy. And he was a grand champion. And then a couple other Americans competed. And then the Mongolians discovered it, and now all the champions are Mongolians. And I heard that the interest in the sport is really dropped because there's no really good Japanese sumo wrestlers anymore. I haven't followed sumo in a long time, but the Mongolians are great. They do a form of wrestling. It's not sumo wrestling, but it's a similar type of wrestling.
I mentioned to you this last year at McAfee's big live show. They had a sumo wrestling. 2 guys go on and do sumo wrestling.
Really?
And everybody went crazy for it. I was so pumped because
it's phenomenal sport.
I was so pumped for it because all these people, the majority of them had never seen it before, and just seeing them just start to learn the process of it, because for a long time they take a long time to start. They'll read dust and
very high ceremonial.
It's crazy.
The ceremonial aspect of it is at a very high level.
And then there had to be like 15,000 people there, like people that didn't even know that there was going to be a sumo wrestling thing. And they had these 2 guys, half were cheering for one of them, half was cheering for the other. And everybody's getting a kick out of how they would go there, and then they look each other down for a minute, and then they would break out of the character and read dust. So I don't know how that works exactly, because if you're not ready to go, you can just go over and read dust or whatever, or you don't have to just start. It's not like go.
It's like psyching each other off.
You have to both agree to go. Like, I don't know if both of them are ready. I don't know the rules very well, but it turned into kind of a joke, but everybody was loving it in a way. Like, oh, are they going to go? Are they go? Oh, nope, they didn't go. And then they go read dust. And then they do it.
So if I remember, I used to go to the sumo. That was in the heyday in the 90s when I was in Japan. That was in the heyday, probably. Waka no Hana and Taka no Hana and Akebono. Anyone who's a sumo fan, those were probably the peak of Japanese sumo wrestling. And Waka no Hana and Taka no Hana were brothers that fought each other. And Akebono was an American guy who was grand champion. And I think there were a couple other American guys. And man, it was so much fun to go. And there was a humongous guy, the heaviest one. So there's no weight classes. It's one weight class, whatever. You can get in at whatever weight you want. And there was one guy who was huge. He probably weighed 450 pounds. And when he would fight the smallest one, it was a Japanese guy who probably weighed less than 200. And the difference in size was absolutely amazing. And of course, everybody cheered for the little guy.
And he was probably having to run away from the whole time, right?
He beat him. He beat him. He had technique. Yeah. He had great technique. Yeah. Whereas the big guy, all he did was use his weight. There is technique. You can grab the belt and you can throw. And if you push them out of the ring or make them put a hand down or a knee, you lose. So if you get pushed out of the ring, you lose. Or you put down a hand or a knee, you lose. You got to stay on your feet. And
if we end up in Japan together, that's something we got to do, is go see it.
I hope they're still doing it.
Oh, it's got to be. This was just last year. They had a couple guys from Japan do it.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, let's see.
What would you think? No. You never know where we'll end up, guys. We just start talking about, speaking only one language. We get into Japan, China, Mongolia. Just come along. No sugar, no cream. No problem. No sugar, no cream. No problem. This has been the Power Hour. Did you have something else to add?
Nope. I can't find the.
This has been exciting. We've learned all kinds of stuff. To me, you just pop that lid open of Tim's, and you never know what's going to come out. It was really tricky. I would definitely the sumo wrestling. I would love to see some live. But yeah, and I did not know about that Mongolia was the reason for the main reason. I mean, there's probably more to it than that.
Maybe
but
misrepresented. I know that in the aughts, and maybe I don't. I mean, that's a lot of time has transpired.
Or it was
The
utilized at
Mongolians,
least.
The Mongolians kind of came in and dominated, but I mean that's been decades. So I don't know if that's still the case or not. But I remember that had been the case for a period of time. But I mean, we're already talking. That this is 26, and I left Japan in 95. So we're talking a long time ago. A lot of things have changed. I haven't been to a sumo match since 95. I mean, I visited there a lot for the next 10 years, the next 12 years, because I had a lot of business there. But I don't think I ever went to a sumo match while I was visiting there, not living there.
Oh, but then I was talking about the wall.
Oh, when I went to the wall. Oh,
the wall.
What about that?
You said it was constructed because of Mongolian.
So. Yeah, that's what my memory tells me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what, guys? Hope you enjoyed history here on No Sugar, No Cream. History with Seth and Tim. We're probably right for the most part.
Okay, here we go. The Great Wall of China was built primarily as a massive defensive fortification to protect Chinese states and empires from nomadic invasions and raids from the Eurasian steppes, especially from groups like the Xiongnu, I can't pronounce it, Khitans, and Mongols. So
Mongolians,
Mongolians, but the Mongols were in there.
But yeah, they were the main one
in there.
Well, the other one might have been from the north too. Might have been that other group.
So,
what's the history of that other group? But I mean,
like the Xiongnu and Mongols. So, I don't know I've never heard of I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Xiongnu. Worth looking up who that is. So
Great Wall of China. It is crazy big. But it's like the it's like, what is it? It's like something like once you see it, you've seen it. Like oh.
No return trips to the Wall of China for you, Seth?
If somebody else wanted to go along, but like it's just, I mean, it's a bunch of walking up and down, like it's more prettier from a view. There's like, oh, it's a bunch of rocks. It's a bunch of rocks. It is pretty neat though. But it's not as fun though when you're stuck in a cab for, I think it was like 2 hours he drove to get there in one cab. Paid one guy to take us all the way there, and then he sat and chilled while we walked around on the Great Wall for a little while, and then we cab ride back. But I definitely, was there for a month. I was definitely very happy that I got to see the wall. But well, I guess we'll go ahead and sign off here, guys, for you. Hopefully you enjoyed all the visit by our little visitor, Steve. He's a great guy. I know him well. He feels like he's a part of me. Don't make me bring out the other character, Tim.
Okay, let's end this.
Gosh, Tim. Let's end this. That seems very, very aggressive and final. Guys, this is our last podcast.
No, it's not our last podcast.
No, it's great. Oh, God, that was funny. I hope that part was funny at the beginning. If you didn't see the beginning, I did a little character and stuff. But guys, we appreciate you as always. Hopefully you enjoyed our podcast. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram, Tim Wolf, Seth Ohms. And then if you're not following us on Facebook, No Sugar, No Cream, please follow us there. If you're watching us on Facebook, please feel free to share the podcast. That helps us get it out to more people. Yes. And we will